A woman free falls more than 100 feet into a cave and survives. She is out tonight and in the hospital. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Brennan Robinson.
And I'm Yvette Martinez. This is 6 Eyewitness News 11 at 11. New at 11, a woman rappelling with a friend fell 133 feet into Rattler's Cave just outside of Newport this evening. Rescuers say her harness broke while she was rappelling, causing her to free fall to the ground. They say she was conscious, talking, and in good spirits. After 3 hours of trying, rescue workers were able to pull the 34-year-old woman out of the cave. She has a couple of abrasions on her head and is complaining of pain in one of her legs. She was airlifted to UT Medical Center, arriving only about 15 minutes ago.
An effort to save a man floating down the French Broad River may not end as well. Knox County rescue boats searched all evening near a spot where 2 teenagers on 4-wheelers say they saw a man flailing in the water and yelling for help before being swept downstream.
Saw him floating down, even moved ahead of him and saw him grab hold of a log or a tree, a stationary log or tree in the water, and held on there for just a brief period of time, yelled for help, and then disappeared on down the river.
He's quoting the witnesses there. The rescuers searched until dark, but say they won't search anymore until somebody files a missing persons report. A Sevier County neighborhood is closely watching a rock wall that could smash their homes.
The wall started falling yesterday morning and smashed into a house. As WATE Scott Withers reports, Union Hill residents are moving out, fearing the worst.
Scott Withers, 6 Eyewitness News.
On Monday, excavation crews will evaluate the hill to see if they can remove it before the rest of it falls. Another problem farther south near Gatlinburg, wells are running low on water. A local well driller says there are too many new houses in the mountains, drawing on too little water in the ground. Neighborhoods are trying to get the county or one of the cities to bring them water by truck.
And they say even the rain doesn't help, which they are getting some, as well as some wind up there.
Yes, some strong winds. Bob Becker joining us now from the Weather Lab, and you've heard from somebody saying it's pretty windy out there.
Those higher elevations, gusts are extremely gusty, and it looks like that situation is going to be continuing well into the night. And there's also more rain on the way. But first, let's talk about the temperatures. It is still February, but you probably have to look at the calendar to remember that. Readings right now are already warmer than the average daily high should be at this time of the year, with temperatures ranging from the mid-50s to the low 60s. The coolest spot is in Maynardville, where Steve Shoemaker is at 55 degrees. David, Boyd, and Powell right now at 63 degrees. And again, the winds are very, very gusty, especially in those higher elevations. Now let's check out where the rain is coming from. The western part of the state from Nashville westward could see some severe weather tonight. We are in hopes that that system is going to weaken by the time it gets here, but late tonight and early tomorrow, we are definitely looking at some more rain coming in our direction. Temperatures by morning in the low to mid 50s, with your sunrise taking place at 7:11. So I know those folks in the areas of Sevier County near that landslide will be keeping a very careful eye tonight, as it definitely looks like there is some more wet weather coming up late tonight and early tomorrow. And when we come back in a few minutes, we will check out your 6-day forecast and see if there's any end to this spring-like weather or if it's going to stay warm.
Sevier County is going to need a break.
Definitely more rain late tonight, though.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Well, you have exactly 1 month to tell the city what you think about the downtown redevelopment plan. The 30-day comment period for Renaissance Knoxville ends March 24th, after which the mayor will make a recommendation to City Council on whether to spend $160 million of taxpayer money on it. On Tennessee This Week, Councilwoman Carly Malone answers the question, would she vote yes today?
Absolutely not. I mean, my gosh. Yeah, we were talking 160 million. And, you know, when you talk about millions, since it's more than I make, you know, a lot more than I make, it kind of gets to be monopoly money. What does 160 million really mean?
And to find out, you'll have to watch Tennessee This Week tomorrow afternoon at 12:30.
A local man known for his unselfish love for children was buried today. 68-year-old John Jeanette was killed this week in a traffic accident on I-75. Jeanette and a fellow Shriner were taking a teen and his mom to a Shrine hospital in Lexington for medical treatment. 5 other people were injured in the accident between the Shriner van and a truck. The case of a Union County man who wants to be executed could go to a Cincinnati court on Monday. The state wants a federal appeals court to overturn a decision that canceled next Thursday's electrocution of Stephen West, pending a mental evaluation. West was convicted for taking part in a stabbing and a mutilation of a mother and 15-year-old daughter in their Union County home in 1986.
The fugitive billionaire pardoned on the last day of the Clinton presidency has broken his silence. In a faxed statement, Mark Rich says the pardon was a humanitarian act, and his indictment for tax fraud and illegal dealing with Iran was wrong and meant to hurt him personally. One of the men prosecuting him calls the statement disgraceful.
His company committed the largest tax evasion in history. There's nothing personal about that.
Rich fled after his 1983 indictment and has been living in Switzerland.
New at 11 tonight in California, police say a college student killed 4 pedestrians while driving under the influence of alcohol. 18-year-old David Edward Atias is charged with vehicular homicide. Witnesses say he was speeding through a residential street near campus, hit several parked cars, then 5 pedestrians. 4 died and 1 was seriously injured. Other university students were rattled by the gruesome crime scene across from the campus.
I've never covered anything like this. It's like, you know, it's one of the most shocking things I've ever had to cover. Like, I was trembling when I first started taking photos, and I couldn't even get a photo, you know.
After the accident, witnesses grabbed and held Atias until police arrived. He is now in a California jail. Firefighters continue to battle wildfires in central Florida.
We're covering the south tonight, beginning in Florida. The wildfires have been burning next to Interstate 4 for about a week now. A lumber yard on the other side of the interstate has burned, and listen to why. The Division of Forestry suspects a log from the fire zone was brought there to be cut up, but ignited first, burning the lumber yard.
A Tennessee minister claiming to lose his memory will now lose his congregation. In December, Barry Cox was recognized by an acquaintance as a Nashville man missing for 16 years. Cox, now known as James Simmons, started preaching at a mostly gay and lesbian church in Dallas last month. The church has now voted not to keep Simmons as their minister. He says he will resign and intends to become a member of the congregation.
Well, with every piece of Dale Earnhardt merchandise sold out, a Sevier County club has created more and is giving it away. It's a compact disc of songs that a local radio station has been playing in tribute to Earnhardt. Big Mama's Karaoke Cafe in Seymour is making them, and Earnhardt fans are grabbing them up.
We gave away probably 500 yesterday, and we've made another 1,000. We had our crews working throughout the night, and we've been trying to keep up so we can, you know, everybody that wants one can get one.
The CD also contains audio clips highlighting Earnhardt's racing career.
Many of us know the basics of how to respond when a person is injured, but first aid for your pets is not as widely known. About a dozen pet owners learned how to help injured animals by taking a pet first aid class taught by the American Red Cross. These pet-loving pupils learned how to check heart rates, perform CPR, and bandage cuts. Veterinarian technicians say infant and pet first aid is very similar. The key difference is a pet may hurt you for trying to help.
The pet can't tell you what's wrong and can't tell you what to do for them, and so it's very similar in that way. And with animals, we teach people that their own animal will bite them if they're injured.
These classes are so popular, the Red Cross offers them every month. If you are interested in taking a class, call your local Red Cross.
It's not New Orleans, but it's pretty wild for Knoxville. The Mardi Gras parade marched down Gay Street today, put on since 1988 by the nonprofit group Community Shares. Now they'll take it easy until the actual Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday, in the Old City, and they give all that stuff up for Lent.
That's right. Having to give up a little bit after that, all that fun.
That's why you do that.
That's 11 straight minutes of coverage you can count on. Still ahead, routine maintenance causes a deadly explosion at a Michigan steam plant.
And dogs gone, but back again. 2 puppies fall into a sewer hole, prompting an elaborate rescue.
Rain midweek, and then it cools off to close to normal by the middle and later parts of the week. But right now, boy, you really have to look at the calendar to know it's February, a very spring-like storm. But again, the fact that the main energy from the storm is going toward the Great Lakes hopefully will spare us any more than just some rain late tonight.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bob.
Well, still ahead on 6 Eyewitness News, the emotion of Dale Earnhardt's death still in the air. NASCAR drivers go back to work. John Haney with today's qualifying in Rockingham later in sports.
Plus, a Mardi Gras celebration turns violent in Seattle.
6 Eyewitness News continues with Brennan Robinson and Yvette Martinez.
6 police officers suffered minor injuries and 2 people are in custody after Mardi Gras festivities get out of hand in Seattle.
We're covering the nation starting in Washington state. Early this morning, partygoers threw rocks and bottles at police as well as businesses along a strip of downtown bars. The crowd of more than 1,000 also ripped down traffic lights and tipped over newspaper boxes. The police SWAT team used rubber bullets and pepper spray to break it up.
In Michigan, 1 man is killed and another injured after a turbine exploded in a steel plant. It happened this afternoon when a contractor was testing a system. He was testing that turbine at high speeds. The speed caused the turbine to rupture, throwing shrapnel through the air, hitting and killing the man. An employee nearby was thrown off the railing. He is in fair condition.
In Missouri, a pair of 2-month-old puppies are safe tonight after falling in a sewer hole. The owner says she found out the puppies were in trouble when the mother began barking and running from the house to the sewer hole in the backyard. Eventually, the puppies were rescued. The owner may have to pay a fine, but not sure just how much yet.
You're just sort of kind of happy to have your puppies back?
You just can't beat saving puppies.
Oh, yeah, but it was a tough day at NASCAR.
Yeah, a lot of folks, heavy hearts.
Well, everybody thinking about Dale still, but these guys have to go back to work. We'll show you how they did. Also coming up from the It Had to Happen Sometime department, the Vols won a basketball game, and better yet, they looked pretty good doing it. You might even say the old Vols went to Vandy, you know, those 16-1 guys. Show you some highlights here from the Big Orange. Sports is soon. In the crowd. Don't know if the Fat Cats will be tearing off their cheerleading unis at the Thundercat games, but I do know WATE's Heather Donald enjoyed her role as celebrity judge in today's contest. I mean, who wouldn't? By the way, these guys, Jason Mitchell, Seth Martin, Gene Wagner, Dexter Day, and David Neal joining Calvin there on the Fat Cats.
Very enthusiastic contestants.
Shakedown.
Excellent skill.
Skill, yeah.
Still ahead, some dogs are getting adjusted to the idea of a new way to relax.